All right, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers that are doing this work in true sincerity. I'm going to jump right into the scripture. This is Zechariah 13 and 9. It says, I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I'll try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. They shall say, the Most High is my power, man. So it says right there, the point I wanted to get is it's talking about those men that have been predestined to be for salvation, man. But those men that the Lord has chosen, they're going to have to get tried. They're going to have to be put pressured upon. They're going to have to get tested. They're going to have to go through affliction. Because it says right there, it says, I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried, man. So that means that there's gonna be affliction, there's gonna be trouble, there's gonna be a difficulty in their path, in their journey. That's why the Yahweh Shai, he talked about the straight gate, which is a path of difficulty. So that just tells you what kind of man you have to be if you're gonna put on the elect. Because here we're talking about putting down the elect. I'm gonna get that scripture. So we're just going on precept upon precept. Salat. Let's see if I can do this other way. Let's see if I can find that scripture. Yeah, Colossians. It's Colossians 3 and 12. I'm not going to go ahead and highlight that. It says, put on therefore the elect of Yahweh, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness, and mind of meekness, and long suffering. So the elect of the Most High, the chosen, the called, they're going to be tried. Let's go back to Zechariah. Salat. Let's go back to Zechariah 13 and 9. And it says, I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them. So this the fire, refinement, and in gold. These are all speaks of difficulty. This all speaks of trouble. These all speaks of a pressure and difficulty put in the path of these men. I'm on that back again. It says, Zechariah 13:9. It says, I will bring them the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say to my people, and they shall say, the Most High my power. So, knowing this scripture, knowing what the chosen, the elect are going to have to go through, and if you say you're going to put on the elect, then you have to prepare your mind for very difficult times ahead, where you're going to have to make very difficult decisions based on faith. Where you're going to have to call upon the name of the Lord based on faith in the roughest of times. So I'm getting Psalm 66 and 10. And it's always good, like we always say, a wise man foresees the evil, so it's good to meditate upon these scriptures, especially in the days and times that we're living in right now. In Psalm 66 and 10, it says, for thou, O Yahweh, has proved us, thou hast tried us as silver is tried, man. So I'm going to stop it right there. Salak, and basically the process of refining silver is a process of getting rid of its impurities. And that's the process that we're going through, and the process that we're going to have to go through in the days to come. I'm gonna read that back again. This is Psalm 6 and 10. For thou, O Yahweh, has proved us. There's going to be a testing phase. That was tried us. We have to be proven worthy, men, if we're going to put on the elect. If we are those elect men, the Lord has to make sure those elect men are worthy. Thou hast tried us as silver is tried, so the impurities are taken away. And if you look at the process of refining silver, it's taken away through pressure and heat or affliction. Verse 11, thou brought us into the net, thou laidest affliction upon our loins. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but thou brought us out into a wealthy place. So that's telling you that there's going to be affliction, there's going to be pressure, there's going to be difficulty, but the income is that the Lord's going to bring us into a glorious state. Most High willing, we be those men. With that, I'm going to get Isaiah 43 and 2. So during all of this trial and tribulation and this affliction and persecution that the men of the Lord are going to have to go through for obeying His word, we have to understand that the Lord is going to be with us through all of this. This is Isaiah 43 and 2. We got to prepare our minds for these things, man. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. So the waters speak of what, man? Of being in a drowning place. And through the rivers that shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, that shall not be burned, neither shall the flame kill upon thee. So it doesn't promise you an easy road. It promises you that you are going to be in difficult situations. The Lord's telling you that you're going to be in difficult situations, but those difficult situations are not going to overcome you. He's not going to allow them to overcome you, but the difficult situation, the uncomfortableness, the trouble, the persecution, it's going to be there. But you're going to have faith in the Lord to know that He's with you through all of that. I'm going to read it back again. Isaiah 43:2 says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. So it says, when you pass through the waters, when you pass through the rivers, when you go through the fire, these are speak of times of difficulty. These are parabolic talk for times of difficulty, man. So there's going to be times of difficulty. It didn't say if you pass through the water. It says when. The scripture says when you pass through the water, when you walk through the fire. So there's going to be a future time, because we are in the time of Jacob's trouble. We are in the time of Revelation 12 and 12, that we are going to have to go through these difficult things. So what does the scripture say in the Apocrypha? Make not haste in time of trouble. All these are written for our sakes, man, to prepare our spirits and our minds, man. What's that? I'm going to get a scripture. Just came to my head. This is Romans 8 and 35. So who shall separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? So who shall separate us? So these things right here, tribulation, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, and sword, these are going to be things that the elect are going to have to experience. But just because we're going to go through these things doesn't mean that the Most High is not going to be there and working on our behalf. As it's written, for thy sake we are killed all day long, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors to him that loved us. For I persuaded neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, or any other creature shall be separated from the love of Yahweh, which is Messiah Yahweh Shai, our Lord, man. So the scriptures is telling you, man. It's telling you, what you got to go through. You got to be persecuted for the namesake. It's like, hey, Paul was told that. Paul was told that, man. Let's get that. See if I can find that scripture. Shalak. This is Acts 9 and 15. This is Yahweh Shai talking about Paul. But the Lord said unto him, not the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, but the Lord said unto him, go that way, for the chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So we're gonna wear those Pauls, man. We're fulfilling the office of Paul. We're preaching to the Gentiles, which is the Israelite foreigners, those that don't know that they're Israelites because they've been Americanized. We're like Paul in that sense, and we're going to have to suffer for the namesake of Yahweh Shai, man. So Yahweh Shai told Paul, man, that he's going to have to suffer. That he's going to have to go through a lot of difficulty, a lot of things. And the scripture tells us that we're going to have to be as silver, we're going to have to be as gold, we're going to have to be put into the fire, we're going to have to be refined, we're going to have to be put pressure and heat upon us to get rid of our impurities and to bring our spirit to a higher level, man. These are the things that are going to happen, man. This is for our good. Fear not, man. This is part of the process. This is part of the walk. The things that are coming. This is part of the walk, man. And use wisdom and see and prepare yourself, man. Does that mean that you gotta go out there and hoard food and weapons and ammo and this, that? No, man. I mean, like the apostle around us said, if you got the means to buy yourself some extra food, then go for it. If you don't, don't worry about it. The Lord's gonna. If you don't got those ways and means, don't worry about it. The Lord's gonna take care of you anyway if you elect, man. But we have to prepare ourselves, mentally and spiritually for the things that are coming. Instead, I'm gonna get 1 Peter 4:12. 1 Peter 4:12, and it says, "Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trials, something can happen unto you." So it's gonna be strange. It's gonna. You think? Do you think the hell you go through is strange? It's gonna get stranger, man. And like I said, we brought out. I brought out these scriptures before, but like Elder Gabar says, repetition is the mother of skill, and that's how the men of the Lord teach. We That's how the Bible is, man. The Bible it brings up, it repeats itself constantly. That's how you teach, man. You teach by repeating yourself. You bring up certain things, and every time you do it, you add a different spirit to it. You add a different attitude toward it, man. Brothers know that you could read a book. Before you got the truth, you might read a scripture, and it might have had a certain meaning or feeling to it. 2 or 3 years later, in the truth, you read that same scripture, and since you've grown in the faith, it has a much more deeper meaning, man. So we bring out scriptures, repeatedly, but depending on where you're walking the truth is, will depend on how that scripture affects you. It might affect you more at one time and later different than another time. It's all through the spirit, man. Whatever the spirit wants to feed you when you're reading the scriptures, man. But yeah, like I said, well, we go through these things. We're gonna go through these things, man. We're gonna have to go through these strange things that seem strange, like the fiery trials. There it is, a fiery trial. That's going back to that gold and that silver and that taking away the impurities and walking through the fire. That's all there, man. And it's promised. It's promised to us. The suffering is promised to us. Persecution is promised to us. Affliction is promised to us. For those when I say us, I mean the men that are obedient to Yahweh Shemel Shai, who are looking to become or hoping to become the elect. Because we know that we're called, man, but whether we are the chosen, we do not know. But to put on the elect, you gotta put on the mentality that we're gonna have to go through these things. What's that? I'm gonna get Job 23:10, because Job was a good example of a man that got put through the fire. Just like the elect are gonna get the 1/3 are gonna get put through the fire. Because Job 23:10, it says, "But he knows the way I take. When he has tried me, I shall come forth as gold." And gold gets what? Gold is a precious metal, but in order to refine that gold, it has to go through the fire, man. The fiery furnace, the gold is tried in the furnace of affliction. That was the Apocrypha. But he knows the way that I take. When his trial shall come forth as gold. My foot has held his steps. His way have I kept and not declined. That's talking about the straight gate, because it's a path, man. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. So all of these scriptures speak of holding on to your integrity as a man. Your integrity with your standing in this truth. And in standing for integrity, you're gonna have to go through these certain things, especially now in the days to come. Especially now that we are in Jacob's trouble, man. Make no doubt about it. We are in Jacob's trouble. So I'm gonna get Isaiah 48:10. Just a few more scriptures. I'm gonna close it out. Isaiah 48:10, and it's always good to repeatedly go over these scriptures, man, and prepare your mind for them. Isaiah 40:10, behold, I refine thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction, and that's how gold is. Yeah, that's how these precious metals are. We get rid of their impurities. So this is to get rid of our carnal mind state, because in the times to come, all we're going to have to rely on is our spiritual man. Our carnal man will not be allowed to function in this society anymore. Once they implement these draconian measures that they're going to implement, the vaccines and the micro Dorito, microchip, whatever you want to call it, man. But I'm trying to use code words because these algorithms, YouTube, they're getting more and more smarter, man. But like I said, we got ways and means around that. I want that back again, Isaiah 40:10. Behold, I refine thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction, man. So that's what it is. These prepare your mind for these things. The Lord has called us to go to the suffer for his name's sake, just like he told Paul. See, I could find another scripture that just came to my mind. See if that's the one. Oh yeah. It says Malachi 3:2, but who may abide the day of his coming, he shall stand when he appeareth. For he is like refiner's soap and a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as refiner and a purifier of silver. That's going back to being, to go into that pressure, to go into that time of trouble. He shall purify the sons of Levi, in the sense that, we are the sons of Levi, because you read 1 Peter 2:9, it says that we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and that's what Levi was. The tribe of Levi were the priest, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Most High an offering unto righteousness. So all things refer back to being put in states of affliction for the betterment of your spiritual man. So Jacob's trouble, the time that we're living in, it's for the punishment of the 2/3, like we read in Zechariah, but it's also for the refinement and the leveling up of the 1/3 in the elect, man. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna run that back to 39. I brought the scripture out yesterday, but it's worth repeating. It says, but this has got a different twist on it. I'm going a different direction, and this time and age is this day. Zechariah 13:8, and it shall come to pass that in the land, says the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a third shall be left therein. So 2 parts going to receive destruction. That Jacob's trouble, that time of judgment, is gonna be for their destruction. I'll bring third part through the fire, and will find them as silver is fine, and try them as gold is tried. But for the 1/3 in the elect, it's gonna be for the leveling up and the proving of those men of faith. With that being said, just a real quick lesson. Most I would and hope it was edifying. With that, I want to say, Kahala Yahweh Shem Shai, all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. But let's keep on pushing. Shalom.